It's June. And if you're feeling like the energy is all over the place right now, you are not alone. You are not alone. May always seems kind of crazy with everything. And then sliding into June, you can't believe it's already June, right? And some store owners are certainly seeing slower traffic. Some people certainly slow down for the summer, while others are swamped with tourists, which is a wonderful thing. We're happy for you. And some are wondering if they should just mark everything down to keep sales coming in, right? Before you do anything drastic, let's zoom out and talk about what's really working this month and how you can step into more on purpose. Welcome back to the Richer Retailer Podcast. Glad to see you here. I wanted to actually tell you how we create these State of Retail podcasts. We really do a bunch of research about it, and we actually set a goal for every single one. And I wanted to read the goal for you for this one. It's to help listeners use summer to refine their store experience, think like high-performing Millies, and take strategic action instead of defaulting to discounts or overdoing. I want you to know that we do research about all this, and then we combine it with what we know our clients, what we see our clients doing, and what we see works. And then that's how we produce this. So please let us know in the reviews and in the Facebook group what you think of it. The link is in the show notes, or you can go to www.RETAILMavens with an S, FB for Facebook.com. You see, the thing that I have learned for sure, and that I want you to get also, is that Millie level success. You know, Millies are over $1 million store owners, but also it reflects a mindset, and that kind of success doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing the right things really well. And we work to do this at Retail Mavens, just like you're working to do it into your stores, right? I mean, it's exactly the same. This month's Millie moment is curate to connect. I'm super excited to dig into this because it really will change the way you're going to look at your store in June. All right. And to make sure you're really being highly intentional about everything. So you've heard me say this before. You're not just selling products. You know that already, right? You're selling clarity. You're selling confidence. You're selling belonging. No matter what the products are in your store, those are some of the things that you know you're selling already, right? And the best way to do that is curation, all right? Customers are overwhelmed by choices, by ads, by life, and Millies don't add to that noise. Instead, they cut through it by editing ruthlessly and choosing what matters most to showcase. So it's about curation, not clutter. So that means building intentional collections, deciding how your customer wants to feel. Talk to your team. How do your customers want to feel in this month, right now, in the beginning of summer? And you want to anchor and create your merchandising around it. You want your messaging to feel the same way. You want your speed bump, that table when you first walk into the store, to make them feel that way. Use signs for sure. Don't leave anything to chance. So use signs to describe the feelings that you want them to have. The beauty of this is that this will invoke an emotional response when they walk into your store and see that speed bump, when they go onto your website and see pictures of it and see your messaging about it, and they're going to say, yes, I want to feel this way. And the beauty of it is that it connects them and it simplifies their decision making. You're doing such a big service for them. Think about a made for summer collection with like your 5 best warm weather must-haves, whatever it is for your store. A hand-picked hostess gift table, a wellness reset display with 3 easy add-ons. For the maker stores, a collection of travel-ready kits to use. Or for a clothing store, what are the fun accessories that they should have? What does made for summer look like to you? Clutter is repelling. For sure. Curation is connection. It tells your customer, I know what you need and I've made it easy for you. So ask yourself, what story will your store tell this month? And is it clear? And is it compelling? And is it curated? Overwhelm is out, intentional is in. So clear, compelling, and curated. And the beauty then is you can take this messaging and use it everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Tell your customers about this thought process that went into your theme for the month of June. That could be a whole email right there. That can be a week's worth of social media content, actually. It's really powerful. Alrighty, now I want to dig into like the trends and shifts and what's happening right now in retail. And I'll tell you that inside our Retail Mavens community, we've been talking about this for a while and we're seeing the success of it. Our most successful stores are tightening their inventory, not expanding it. They're going deeper, not wider. This is actually based on a consumer psychology test that was done years ago that talked about the paradox of choice. They did it where there were two tables set up in multiple grocery stores, and one table had 6 different flavors of jam and had 4 deep of each of them. 6, and there were 4 deep. Another one had 3, so half as many jams to choose from, and then had 8 back. So they both had 24 bottles or jars of jam, but one was wide and shallow, and the other one was narrow and deep. And they wanted to see which one sold more. The narrow and the deep one sold more. And there are times in retail where you want to go, where people want more selection, but that is not true now. People do not. They want you to tell them. They want curated selections. They want you to tell them what to buy. They're counting on you. You see everything, so they're counting on you. So that's the one thing about inventory. They're also, the other thing I'll tell you too about retail during the summer is that we really encourage our clients to use summer as a testing ground. Often, except for tourist towns, often it's a little slower. So use smaller themed collections, do things like weekend pop-ups with other local businesses. And you know what? You could even pull back on posting as often in social media just to focus on personal customer follow-ups, trying that. So what is it you'd like to test this summer? Because you should set up a time to do it. And nationally, we're seeing a few things too. Shoppers are choosing value over price. It does not mean that they want it cheap, but it means they want their purchase to feel smart. And you can do that for them with signage and with many other things as they're making their purchases. You can tell them not only what the feature is of an item, but also the advantage and the benefit to them for it, right? AI, of course, is more accessible than ever, especially for messaging and segmenting emails or text lists. If you've been curious, this is a great time to set some time apart so that you can create time to experiment and test that. You can try using QR codes to digital lookbooks or to a page on your website or even texting your regulars, a sneak peek of what's going on. They found that those little digital touches are getting more attention than flashy ads are. Also, summer layout updates are making a huge difference. Make sure that you're adding summer layout updates, summer merchandising updates, right? Make sure that your front table or your speed bump, as we call it, has signage and has an extra personality boost. Those are simple ways to make your store feel alive right now. That's another thing that they're talking about out there, which is something that honestly we already know, don't we? The bottom line is that the stores that are intentional this summer are going to be the ones that are getting attention. That's the fact. All right, so here's your challenge this month. First, go to the show links and get our VIP emails because this State of the Retail email has even more information related to this. And here's your other challenge this month. Don't default in discounts. Don't drown in clutter. Instead, choose one way to curate and one way to educate. And then curate is making your choices look intentional, making your stories look intentional, more intentional than ever. Educate is why communicating the benefit to your customers about why they're buying something. Don't be afraid to use signage for both those things, right? So, for example, you could maybe re-merchandise your best sellers into a seasonal story. Maybe you post one reel explaining why a certain item in the store is your absolute favorite pick this summer. Maybe you have each of your team members do their own favorite pick for the summer. Maybe you run a quick text campaign inviting your VIPs in for a private sip and shop with a very curated preview rack of what you know they need to see to make this summer the most memory-filled summer ever. Whatever it is, be intentional. And while we're talking about your merchandising, the one thing I forgot to mention is that this can be the time of year when you can be down to onesies and twosies of things, right? Don't hesitate to take those out of the area wherever they are. You can put them on a rack or on a shelf that says, last ones, or these are looking for a good home. You're not marking them down. You're just telling people these are the last ones left. And so, don't miss it. I've seen other stores, big stores do that. It's been really successful. So that's another great way of being intentional about your merchandising and editing, curating, a shelving unit, curating a display by removing some of those onesies and twosies, if that serves you. Whatever it is, be intentional, like I said. And if you're ready to step into more, to lead like a Millie, to build a smarter business and stop second guessing every decision, let's talk. It'd be an honor to do so. We offer one simple next step, a 15-minute call with our head coach, Crystal. No fluff at all. Just real clarity on what's possible when you lead with strategy instead of stress. Everyone at Retail Mavens has been in retail, and we all know the clutter that stress gives you versus the intentionality, really the curation that strategy provides you. So are you in? Book your call at the link in the show notes, and I'll see you next month. And if this episode inspired you, encouraged you, I'd love to hear from you. And share this with a friend, please. Know that you are astonishingly fabulous and that you are loved. See you next time. Happy retailing.